Wes, what do you think made the difference for you guys tonight?
I think we just we stuck with it. You know, it's one of those things where that game could have easily gotten away from us. You know, you felt like they had a bit of a momentum. You know, and it's tough. You know, we talked about defend without fouling. They had 15 free throws in the fourth, and you know, it was an area of concentration that just got to be careful. We know going in, DeRozan's going to get to the line, and he got there 11 times. So being able to control, be aggressive with him, but do it without fouling, I think is a big key. But the fact that we were able to weather that, you know, it's a good sign to see that us not let go. You know, play after play, offensively, defensively, somebody made a play.
What have you liked about Kuzma on offense so far?
You know what? I think he struggled in the preseason, but I think he's found his rhythm. You know, I think he's taking the right types of threes. He's aggressive with it, but he's letting the game come to him. And I think reading the flow, playing downhill at times, but also just when the ball finds him in rhythm, he's ready to shoot it and lets it fly.
Wes, was that just getting time and kind of getting games under his belt?
That's probably a question for him, but
I'll ask him.
okay. No, I'm either way. It's a good sign to see that, you know, finally getting a rhythm. So I like where he is. You know, the mix of drives, the threes, the playmaking. But you know, we just have to continue with it.
You obviously liked DeLon in that closing group. I think he had a really big defensive rebound, maybe after a KP thing there at the end. But how crucial is he just to be able to have at a quarter, especially tonight when you guys held on at the end of, I think, a couple different periods?
Yeah. Well, I think it's important. We talked about what the flow requires late in the game. You know, it allows us to play offense, defense. I thought 𝗙𝗢𝗖𝗜𝗓 was good. He made some big plays for us. And then, you know, if you need more size on the ball. If we're switching late, you got a guy with a little bit more size and length who can do that.
The assist number is 26 tonight, on par with last year's numbers. What did you like about how the ball was getting side to side?
Oh, I love it. I love it. The fact that 26 assists and 41 field goals. So that's an area that it's really important to the way we play. It leads to overall efficiency and the willingness that our guys have shown to buy into that. And I got to highlight Brad, because time and time again we're putting the ball in his hands for a reason. He's going to make the right play, and he did it tonight. And it's something we've seen throughout the preseason, where he's made plays and guys didn't necessarily make the shot. So I understand, there's sometimes it's natural to feel some frustration, but he's not leaning into that. He's going to continue to make the right play, and it's really helping us.
And Gill and not Gafford at the end. What went into that decision defensively?
Well, I was concerned about the rebounding. So and obviously if they went direct post to Vooch, he's a problem down there. But it gave us a little more flexibility to switch, and if we had to, blitz and rotate or hit DeRozan, it gives us a little bit more mobility to get out, to those three-point shooters.
Hey, Wes, how are you? 2 games in now, 2 big leads. Had to fight to keep the lead in Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
This time, they came back and prevailed. But out of that short sample size, what have you learned from this team?
A little bit of resilience, it's never going to go 100% perfect. It's okay to win ugly, and it's hard to win this league, and we can learn from a game like Indiana, where you have a comfortable margin. This team is going to just stick with it. They are a potent offensive team. The fact that they do get to the line stops the clock, gives them points, and allows them to set their defense. So that offsets a little bit, so a subtle difference between the other night, where it's more transition turnovers and quick threes. Yes, we have to do a better job without fouling. That would help, but they have a lot of offensive weapons, so that it's going to be a grind-out game. The fact that we're able to come out on top in these type situations, it's growth, it's learning, and the more comfort we have, with a little bit of adversity, I think it's going to help us, down the road.
What did you like so far in terms of the chemistry between Brad and Kyle and KP, and maybe what do you think they can improve on in that area as well?
Well, I think it's going to take on a life of its own. It's going to continue to mature, and you'll see more synergy. It's still just a small sample size with them together. More comfortability with, how each other play, where each guy wants their shots, what plays to run to get guys to their spots. All of that, there's a little bit of a learning curve. So I like where they are, and the fact that they're just willing to kind of play and figure it out, conceptually play within the framework that we have. And I think it'll take some time, but I think it'll continue to improve.
Coach, when you look at Denny on defense and the impact he had, especially guarding DeRozan, DeRozan had a lot of points, but there were a number of times where he tried to get Denny with his pump fake. Denny stayed down. He also closed 10 possessions with defensive rebounds. What did you think about his impact on the defensive end of the floor?
Underrated. I think it's one thing when you look at the box score and the guy's got 32, it's just like, man. But to your point, he did some good things. It's growth for him not to bail guys out with fouls. And I get he got rejected a couple times, away from the screen, but he was mindful of showing his hands, trying to stay down on pump fakes. And to your point, the rebounding. It's been an issue for us, through the preseason and the other night. It wasn't great tonight, but down the stretch, that's winning basketball. Denny makes, those type plays. Brad makes a heck of a play, chase down block. Those are the winning plays that, the block shows up, but you don't get the full measure of what those type plays mean and how it can change the balance of a game.
Drummond is a very big dude. Can you take us through the dunk over him?
Did I dunk on him, though? I don't know. I didn't feel anything. I don't really count dunks unless you like his body or something, but, I just saw like a weaker defender close out and I just didn't want to settle and exploded. So.
Wes talked about how you really found your rhythm even in these just past 2 games. How have you felt different? Have you noticed feeling just a little bit more in sync?
Well, I just took my time during preseason. I really just tried to sit back and, I've been in the league long enough where, I can turn it on and off and I can just figure out and see, because we have a new team, and being able to see how other players play and see how I fit in and then, just try to, overview from preseason and just attack the regular season. And, I'm just trying to do my role. That's it. Play defense, rebound, and make shots. It's real simple.
What did you think about the shot Brad hit at the end?
It was big time. It was definitely big time. And, he was a little frustrated tonight, but he did a phenomenal job of just keeping his head and just staying into it. And he's going to have the ball in his hands every night. In the game, fourth quarter, that's what we want. He's our best player. So just put the ball in your best player's hand and make him make a play. And all preseason training camp and even these 2 regular season games, he's done a great job of being a scorer, but just making the right play at the right time. And, it's really good to see.
Hey, Kyle, how are you? As you just said, new team, but is it a little bit surprising to you that 2 games in now, you guys have been cohesive and locked in enough to be able to withstand the other teams, come back and still come out with the win?
Well, this was a big step for us tonight. I think we pooped the bed a little bit in Indiana. We still won, but it was an ugly win. And for us, didn't really get enough stops, coming down the stretch, but then we got the right stops at the right time, just being resilient. Brad made a hell of a shot. AG came in when KP fouled out, got a stop when we really needed it at the end with DeMar. And, that's what it is. That's what it boils down to, just getting stops at the right time, timely possessions, and you can win like that.
What, if anything, went through your mind when DeMar's shot went up?
Last year, I was just like, this is going to happen again. This is going to happen again. And it didn't. But it rimmed out, though. It was close. And thank God.
What did you like about the flow of offense? 26 assists on 41 made buckets.
We're all just playing the right way. We have a veteran team. We have a team that we all like each other. And, that's the biggest thing. You can tell we like each other. Everybody's moving the ball, playing for each other. We hold each other accountable. We may scream at each other, but it's not a barking match. And it's all coming from a right place of love and understanding that we all have the same agenda, trying to win. And that's what we've been doing all preseason, all camp. And, I just hope we can continue to keep that mentality.
Hey, Kuz. I know you said at the end of the game with the Glenn concert, but how does it feel, of course, game opener, home opener, in a sold-out crowd back in D.C.?
I just hope it's sold out when we come back from Cleveland. I think this is the year we have a pretty solid team, partly just because we like each other. Last year I couldn't say that 'cause, at the start. Obviously, we started 10-3, but I couldn't say that. But this year, you know, when you play for each other, you're gonna give yourself a chance every single night, and we demand that of each other. And you know, it's just really fun playing with this ball club.
Through 2 games, how's the chemistry been between yourself, KP, and Brad? What's been good about it? What can maybe improve moving forward?
I think it's damn good right now, and you know, we haven't really had opportunities to really play too much together. If you look back last year, it was me and Brad for a little bit. He got hurt. Then it was me and KP for 7-8 games. Then I got hurt. And then if you look at preseason, Brad didn't play that much in preseason. KP, you know, here and there. But, you know, we just all know how to play basketball. That's what it boils down to. Brad is going to make the right play. KP's going to make the right play. I'm going to make the right play. And we're all going to be aggressive at the same time. And, you know, I always say it, you know, we've all been in situations where we've had to play off ball to better players, whether that's John Wall, Luka, or me, AD, and Bron. So when we have the ball, we understand and know how to play off the ball. And it's really fun. And we have a good connection right now.
Kuz, I think before you checked in the fourth quarter, you were trying to coach up AG from when you were on the sideline. I guess, is that just more of a role that you're trying to take on this season?
No, I'm just trying to win the game. I think, what was the possession? Yeah, Rui had the ball, and then, you know, he had Alex Caruso on him, one of the top defenders in the NBA, and I just tell him stop slipping screens, get the switch so Rui can have an easier job. But I'm just trying to win, and, you know, whatever help that is, it helps. So.
Just a quick question for you, Kuz. Just some of the positives you took away from tonight's game.
Our resiliency, I think that was the biggest thing. We didn't hold our heads down when they made their run in the fourth, and we didn't really get scores. Had a couple rough possessions, didn't get too many stops, but we held strong, held our ground. Obviously, Brad made a huge play, and you know, the whole game we were positive. We had to lead most of the game, but we were just positive. Every time out, positive. Hold your heads. It's okay. Keep the storm going. And, you know, that was much different from last year, and it was good.
Could you walk us through that final shot?
First, praise my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Well, the biggest thing is don't turn the damn ball over, because I did it the possession before. But, I mean, just Coach kept me in the middle of the floor. I told myself I'm going to get a shot up, and I'm going to make the shot. I mean, it was more or less what it was, just being locked into the moment, staying engaged in the game. It's a great screen. I just made a good read and just try to get the best shot possible. That's all.
It seemed like you were pretty pumped after one of your baskets in the fourth, and Kuz kind of mentioned how maybe you were frustrated before that. That was a breakthrough. Is that what that moment was for you?
No, not really. It was just kind of getting going. Like, offensively, I was just more or less penetrating. They were doubling a lot, so I was just constantly just making the right reads, making the right play. And the ball just found me in a nice little moment of the game. I was just excited for the shot, so it definitely kind of got me going a little bit, but it wasn't nothing more than that.
What did you like about the offensive flow tonight? 26 assists on 41 shots.
I mean, just looking again, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys again in double figures. So, what was it? Well, my math is off. Four. But I mean, that's a testament to us, man. We're just doing a good job moving the ball, being aggressive, make smart plays with it, and damn, 5 turnovers. That's terrible. But we're doing a good job just moving the ball, sharing it. Who's ever open, shoot it. That's our mentality, you know. We trust everybody to make plays and be smart with the ball.
And what kind of reads did you feel that you got tonight with the 8 assists?
Just finding guys. You know, they do a good job of doubling, of showing bodies, helping in the paint. You know, so I'm going to trust my teammates to make the shot, make the extra pass, make the read, and if it's a hockey assist, it's a hockey assist. But you know, it's not all on me to just score. You know, so you know, I've embraced the role of creating for my teammates and trusting them to make the right shot and the right play as well.
Two things, Brad. What did you think when you saw DeRozan go up at the last?
I thought it was cash. I ain't gonna lie to you. That was a great look. You know, Debo don't shoot many threes, but when he do, ironically, they went in and he hit us with one last year, 2 in the corner, right? So, I mean, he seems to love DC, you know. No, but it was a good look, good defense by AG, and tough shot. You know, contested, make him miss, but it was a little nervous for a minute, yeah, for sure.
Another thing, being around you guys the last few days, I keep hearing the same thing, that you guys like each other this year. Kuz even said that wasn't the case last year, and I just wondered, not so much what happened last year, but what's different when guys actually do kind of like each other?
That's a little extra. I think it's a little steep. We liked each other last year too. It was just we had guys who all buy into what Wes wants. You know, it's not a lot of drawing back, not a lot of kind of pushback on what we want. It's, you know, getting what he wants done first, and if we need to make adjustments later. You know, we're not questioning his I guess methods in a way. You know, we're all accepting the criticism, 1 through 15, and I think that's the biggest thing about it, man, is, you know, it's just pure joy that we're out there and we have a chance to make this team something that we can build it into. You know, I think everybody's bought into that, and I think that's a beauty. That's been the beauty of it, for sure.
Through 2 games, what's the chemistry been like between yourself and Kuz and KP, and what's been good, and maybe what can you guys improve on?
Oh, everything is up for improvement. You know, nothing is perfect. You know, we're still figuring each other out. We're still figuring out our spots, and, you know, I'm still learning KP, where he wants the ball. Kuz is going to be Kuz. Kuz is super aggressive from start to finish. You know, we need him like that, and I always tell him he's at his best version when he's getting downhill, attacking the basket. You know, then obviously when he's locked in, his three-point shot is cash. So, you know, constantly figuring out that dynamic with KP. He does a great job of rolling, of popping, mixing in them both. You know, and we're still a work in progress. You know, obviously we do a good job of sharing it, shooting it, knocking down shots, but like I said, everything can be better for sure.
Out of the last 2 games, you guys had big leads. Other team came back, but you still held on 2-0. It says a lot about resiliency. So what have you learned about your teammates in that short amount of time?
I guess what you just said, we're resilient. You know, we take pride in who we are and getting stops. You know, that's what's going to win us games. You know, we can't win games without getting stops. And sometimes, I mean, we respect everybody. Everybody's a pro. You know, the last 2 games we played, Indiana has good guys, and Chicago, for damn sure, has pros and good guys on their team too. So you respect that, you know, but we don't back down. We don't give in to their runs. You know, that's a part of the game we're going to run too. But, you know, it speaks volumes. You know, a lot of vets we have, a lot of guys who've been in winning situations. You know, they come in, know what to do, know what to expect, and, you know, we stay poised when runs are made and make the right plays down the stretch, and that's all we can do.
Brad, at what point in the game did you request to Wes to guard DeMar?